Welcome back to Where is the Money? So Trump floated the idea of a 50-year mortgage to make the housing more affordable for people to buy more houses to help the economy. Now, I'm not a financial planner. I'm not a CPA. I am definitely not an accountant, but something feels off about a 50-year mortgage. Let's talk about it.
All right, we are back now with President Trump's controversial new idea to help with housing affordability, a 50-year mortgage. It comes on the heels of a report from the National Association of Realtors saying the age of the typical new home buyer is now at an all-time high of 40 years old. Brian Chung is here now. And Brian, walk our viewers through how a 50-year mortgage would work.
Yeah, Tom, mortgage brokers are telling me this might help a few buyers here and there. There is no question, however, that home affordability is worse now than it used to be. The median home is now over $120,000 more than it was 10 years ago, with a 30-year mortgage rate at 6.3%, more than 2 points higher. Now, the idea here is stretching the debt of that home over 50 years instead of 30 years. So in other words, smaller monthly payments over a longer period of time. But there are some hurdles to this. The law may not allow the government to guarantee these type of mortgages. Some within the GOP don't like this, and experts say it overlooks the lack of housing supply as kind of the main affordability problem here.
Breaking news. Breaking news. The Trump administration can start pressuring these banks to start issuing 50-year mortgages, because they need to sell some of these damn houses and people can't afford them. In 30 years, you know, these highest interest rates and stuff like that. So Trump is like, well, we're going to issue 50-year mortgages. You can Google this shit. So, you know, I got my good friend over here, ChatGPT, to start running me some numbers. You know, the current interest rates, I think, are like almost 7%. 607, but I told ChatGPT to run the numbers on $400,000 at 5% interest. ChatGPT spit that shit out in 2 seconds. Guess what your mortgage would be on $400,000 over 50 years at 5%? Your monthly payment is $2,011.78. That's right. That's right. Your total interest now, over the course of that 50-year loan, is $806,768. Now you add that to that $400,000 original loan, that brings that to a little bit over $1.2 million. They have completely lost their motherfucking mind. Because it doesn't even include homeowners insurance. That's just what you got to pay back to the bank. And then your insurance is going to rise every year. Just like mine just did. Mine just went up an extra $150 over the total premium now, not a month. I had to tell them kiss my ass. But anyway, after 50 years, you probably be paying about $7,000 a month for that damn house. These people have lost their damn mind. They are trying to kill every American in the United States, and non-American too. I don't think they give a damn at this point. They're going to kill everybody with financial stress. You won't live past 45. These balls got to stay drained.
Now, according to ChatGPT here, in this man's account to things, it don't add up. The numbers don't number. The math is not math. And although it sound good, $2,000 still, all that front loaded with interest. Normally in a 30-year fixed mortgage, maybe the first 10 years is mostly interest, 15 maybe. But for a 50 years, so you're saying like 25 years or so maybe interest, even if only 15 is more interest. Like that is a lot of interest, and it doesn't seem like the payment is all that low, and that's only at 5%. Imagine if it's 7, or if it even goes up higher, even more, $800,000 worth of interest on top of the $400 principal. So you now financing $1 million house, 1.2? That sounds crazy.
I saw something about the potential to have a 50-year mortgage.
The 50-year mortgage thing?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Okay, first things first. here's my thoughts on that. What do we have? We have a housing problem, right? There's really only one reason for this housing problem: supply and demand. We just don't have enough housing.
Shortage.
We have a shortage. Very simple. So trying to say that, hey, I'm going to stretch your payment out to make things affordable, I don't think solves that problem. It doesn't bring about additional supply of homes. And number two,
Can I argue that it would even make it worse because you have more people in the market to buy them? So more demand.
Exactly. You're very good. Now you learn economics.
Yes.
Supply and demand. You are basically messing around with the demand side of the supply and demand curves, right? You attacking the demand side, not the supply.
We need to fix the supply.
And here's the other problem with 50-year mortgage, right? Okay, your mortgage, LO, right? You know this, right?
I am a mortgage.
15. Okay, what's the pricing of a 15-year? How different is a 15-year mortgage from a 30-year mortgage?
A lot different.
Right. So imagine a 50-year mortgage and a 30-year mortgage. Interest rates are going to be higher. Number
expensive.
one. Number two, right? It's going to be much longer for people to gain their equity, to build their equity, because what happens in a mortgage, right? All the interest is front end loaded. So you're going to keep making your payments and payments and payments, and your principal is going to go very, very little portion of your interest. Remember, mortgage interest is always front end loaded on a consistent payment stream of a fixed mortgage over that period of time of the amortization, right? So people are going to take longer for them to pay their equity down, right? To me, if you ask me, and ironically, I am on this side of the fence. I'm a banker. This is good for bankers and lenders. Right. It's just another tool for them to make more money, right? So the bottom line is like, if you think this is going to help affordability, think about it from supply and demand, right? You're driving up the demand. What happens when you drive up the demand, leaving the supply as is?
Houses get more expensive.
Things get more expensive. That's it. That's what I think it is.
I agree.
Is this the American dream now? Somebody wake me up. Now, realtors have been hurting ever since the economy has turned out the way it is, so they're gonna sell you a way to make it make sense in your head, right? I'm already hearing it. These realtors are trying to convince you that it's a good idea for them to get that commission check. It works for them, but it may not work for you and your budget. Here's probably how they're gonna try to sell it.
Great news. We actually have a 50-year mortgage option now.
Okay. And how much is that going to save me per month?
Let me check. Wow, this is actually going to save you $275 per month. That's huge.
All right. And how much more interest am I going to be paying over the course of the loan?
Great question. I love where your head's at. Let me just do the math real quick. Roughly $475,000.
Thought so. How old will I even be by the time I get done paying this off?
Another great question. Let me just do the math, because you'll probably have to refinance like 7 or 8 or 13 times. So you will be approximately 127 years old.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that it's worth it.
I get that, okay? But if it's any consolation, most of your loved ones are going to be dead by the time you're done paying this off anyway. So you won't even have anyone to enjoy a house with.
Are you serious? No, that's not a consolation at all. I don't think you know what consolations are.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, here's another way of thinking about it. We're all probably going to be robots in 50 years anyway, so this is all pretty much moot.
Actually, weirdly, that is a little bit of a consolation.
Now, it sounds comical, but I wouldn't put it past them. They just trying to close the deal and stick you with the bill. You figure it out in 50 years. If the average home buyer is 40 years old, what? Are you 90, 95, trying to pay off this house? Are you just going to will it to the next generation at that point? Is it even going to be worth that come 50 years? Probably not. So what do you make of this? Put your comments below. Let's talk about it. This is Where Is the Money? Talk to you soon.